Good morning, everyone. Maggie says hello. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Hey, hey, look who's here. Tasha, the cowgirl parking lot. No, Tasha of Cowgirl. Hey, that's a tongue twister. Especially,
I think you better drink some more coffee, Papa.
yeah. Tasha of Cowgirl Parking.
There you go. Good job.
Of course, of course, we're pretty biased about it. Now, this is our new time, so I kind of expect that people will be late coming into
Yep.
the
Yep.
to the chat. So let's
We
see.
switched up our time, that's why.
Yeah. So it says there's only one in the chat, and that's you.
That's me. I'm here.
So I mean, it's okay because it's being
You have her
recorded.
muted. Oh yeah.
So there you go.
Oh,
Welcome,
Linda's
Tasha.
here.
There you go. So welcome to the chat. I'm having tongue problems this morning.
Good morning, Linda.
We welcome to the chat, Tasha.
You should have done
So
those tongue exercises that parents do.
Yeah, well, we didn't realize, or at least I didn't realize that it was such a tongue twister because yeah, I didn't practice at all. So good morning, Linda. How are you today? The bot is running. That's awesome.
Yep.
We expect to have less participation this morning, Linda, because this is our new time. We swapped with Bob's Adventure on Wheels.
We did.
We used to be in the slot after this slot.
Yeah.
This is Bob's slot.
Yeah.
So
Bob's on after us now.
So that's what's happening there.
So good morning, and let's have coffee, Linda. And Tasha. Tasha's gonna get her coffee. Her
My
coffee's
coffee's
coming.
going to be delivered.
It's delivered. How do you like that? Coffee delivery.
I'm spoiled today.
That's awesome.
So, so today, excuse me, I got a little bit of. I think
Clear.
Yeah, no, but I think it was dusty yesterday.
It was. We were actually we were decorating for my brother's wedding today, and the gym was dusty because it had it was called Kidscape, so they had kid parties in there before, and so we had to get that all cleaned out and then decorated. It was very pretty now.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So we've been asked to be the videographers of the wedding. So we're bringing out all our gear, pulling out all the stops. I don't know if you've noticed a lot of our videos. I think it started when we hit about California, but it got worse. It sprang up again when we got to the land last January. Our GoPro microphone
It's bad.
started buzzing off and on.
Yeah.
So we had sound issues. And we were trying to get a microphone set up, but there's a special adapter for the older GoPros because the GoPro does not receive a microphone naturally. So you needed this adapter, and I couldn't find it anywhere. At one point I had found it and ordered it on Amazon, but they said they couldn't supply that. They ran out of supplies. So we left unfortunately without one, and our sound has been a little challenging. But with our new GoPro, we can now have microphones tied into it, and finally tested it last night. We have lapel mics, and we're going to be using it at the wedding today for the bride and groom and testing it. They work. No more bad sound anymore. So we have Tasha on. Tasha is one of the daughters, as she came on. She came on one of our lives. One of the daughters, Tasha. But Tasha just started her YouTube channel. So Tasha, tell us a little bit how that came about. What kind of inspired you to start a YouTube channel?
A lot of it was stress. I've been starting to film my sessions with my horse and my dogs for a couple months now. I like to track my horse's progress over the years, and what better way to do it by video. I see her so often that seeing her every single day, you don't notice the little changes. It's very similar to if you're trying to lose weight, you yourself, you look at yourself every day in the mirror, but by taking photos or videos and comparing, you can actually see the difference, the more drastic difference in the day to day. So I started doing that with my horse, and I'm like, well, let's vlog it, because I have an interesting outlook on my relationship with my horse and my dogs. And I found that video editing after a busy day of grooming, it's a nice unwind of my day. Like, I can actually get out of my work headspace, which has been very stressful lately with COVID. Like, work is crazy. So I'm like, oh, well, let's try it. It's a nice hobby. And it just works out really well that I can post it and share my relationship and my communication with my animals. Because it is something that people don't look at the way I look at it. And a lot of people don't see that when you have animals, you are communicating with them. You're not just training them. Training is communication. And you don't make the animal do anything. It's you're asking them to do something. So I do have a unique outlook on animals. So I just wanted to share it.
That is awesome. What an awesome thing. Sue asked, did I see you holding the dog?
Yes, my little one.
There, she wants to see your dog.
Her snuggle meter is very low right now, so she needs some snuggles. This is Luna. I call her the princess.
Yeah, but look at Luna. Luna is very fortunate. She can get her hair done, and she gets her hair colored whenever.
Yes, and she does get her hair colored usually too.
Yes.
But
oh my gosh. I think there's blue. Does she has blue and red today?
Blue and orange. I need to
it's
switch it out because
oh my god.
yeah. We decorated her for the Oilers, but they didn't make it very long, so we got to swap it out.
It's beautiful.
I love Luna. She's such a snuggle bun.
She is.
She is. She wants to be on your lap all the time, which means I'm a big dog person. I grew up with large dogs. So she's my first little dog. And I'm like, for the first little while, it's cute. It does get very annoying because she like scratches at you and gargles. And I'm like, okay, you can go be a dog. It is okay to be a dog. You don't have to be on my lap all the time.
It's a little bit like Amelia or Sheltie. Is the same way too. She always wants to be up in your arms, and she'll actually snuggle. She'll actually put her head underneath your your chin and neck, and she'll just stay there. As long as you want to hug her, she will hug. She'll hug back.
So what's the name of your horses? Sorry, I'm getting questions.
My horse is Sage. So she is the main star of my first video. She is 13 years old and she's a registered quarter horse. I bought her off of a gentleman who was military, and on the military base here, it's super cheap for them to keep horses because they have their own stable and facility. So I think it was like $50 a month, and that was feed, vet, farrier, everything. So I mean, you cannot find cheaper than that. And she was just used for a trail horse, and she came with a lot of baggage. She didn't trust people because all he did was get on and run. So she's very sensitive. She'll do anything for you no matter what, but she did have severe panic attacks. So we're definitely still working through that 4 years later. And then through some of my next videos, you will see friends' horses. So some of the horses that you will see is Style. He is a 23-year-old paint. He is one-eyed. He lost his eye to ulcers. You will also see Lexi. Lexi is she's a quarter horse. I'm not sure her age. I want to say 5 or 6. She is siblings same friend owns them, so I call them siblings. To Style, she is a Palomino quarter horse, which is Palomino is her color. It's that rich golden color. And then Puzzle, who was our main buddy in our first video, he is owned by Dennis. He is a paint also. And he's been there, done that. Like, this horse amazes me. And I'm like, Sage, watch and learn, please. Like, this is where we're going. Like, Puzzle is where we're going to be one day.
Nice.
So those are the main horses you'll see on my videos to come, and I will always intro them when they come in, but it's a good little herd of horses.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all together. They're all.
So they're not. They were supposed to be, but Lexi is, how to say it nicely, she's a cow.
Oh.
She's a bully. So she's a natural born lead mare. So every herd has a lead mare. What they say goes. The way they run their herd is to the best of their ability to keep the herd safe. So she is very bossy, like extremely bossy. So originally, Style and Lexi were put in with Sage, but Lexi did not understand that Style has one eye and can't see. So she was becoming quite bully, and Style is bottom of the pecking order. Like, okay, I'll do whatever you want. Just let me eat. Okay. Like, oh, you don't want me to eat? Okay, I won't eat. So it just wasn't the right fit with the three of them. If it had been a bigger herd with, say, 5 to 10 horses, it would have been different, because he would have found a buddy right away and kind of glued to his buddy and been more comfortable. Like, okay, are you sure this is what she wants? Right? Where we introed a little too fast. And then the previous place we were all boarding at the same facility, and then we all kind of moved to this facility. Lexi beat up on Puzzle as well. So Puzzle is in with some older geldings, and he's, again, a happy-go-lucky guy. Geldings are usually like, okay, I'll just do this and I'll please you, and we'll put her along and follow. So yeah, so Sage is in with Lexi, Style and Puzzle are in with 2 separate sets of geldings to meet their kind of emotional needs. So that's really nice about where we are. If they don't fit well together, there's always another spot where they can kind of be shuffled to suit their personalities, which is nice. And Sage, you think she's not a cow, but she has underlying cow in there. Like, she's definitely a mare. So she can kind of put up with Lexi, and she wants to be a leader, but because of all of her anxiety and her past trauma, she's like, no, you better take the lead. I'll follow, but I'm also not going to let you bully me. So that's really nice.
Nice.
I can kind of throw her in wherever.
So how long have you had this horse fascination?
Since I could walk and talk. I would say it started when I was, 1.5, 2, when we were visiting Uncle Grant when he was camping. And as soon as I could talk,
you were 18 months. You were
18 months. Okay. Yes, I don't know all of the details
of
that
the story. Yeah, yes. But I like, there is one story that Christian actually did mention, was when she was under the horse.
Yeah, so we were camping in Kananaskis in Alberta, basically at an equestrian campground. Tracy's uncle is horsey, and he's got friends that were horsey. So we were at an equestrian campground. We were all set up. It was campfire was going. It was just almost getting dark, and we were just chatting around the campfire, and we just kind of got involved, and we turned around and going, well, where's Tasha? Where's Tasha? And we look at the horses, and here's Tasha underneath one of the horses with her hand up, petting the stomach of one of the horses, going, nice doggy. Nice doggy. You've never seen.
I love that story.
Basically, myself and Tasha's uncle I think you know, they were 100 feet away, but I think we made it there in two steps, 2 bounds, and we had gotten her. Good thing that they were really good horses. You know, they weren't spooked. They were kind of mature horses, and they were really well trained, and they were really, really good. There was another story when we went to visit Uncle Grant, and on a 10-acre lot where the horses were kept, but there were other horses that weren't so good. And Tasha, her love of horses, and I think you were around 2 here, Tash. This was a few months later, and she went up to the fence to see the horses, and the horses always loved her, very curious about her, so the horses always came to her. So came across the fence, and one of the horses wasn't quite sure what she was. I don't think the horse had ever seen a toddler. So the horse actually uh, came through the fence, like put her head through the fence and nuzzled her and pushed her over, and then took her paw and basically just kind of pawed her. Didn't step on her, but just pawed her. And so again, we're inside. Who's watching Tasha? So we must have been really bad parents or something. But we've always
Tasha, go with the horses.
we just kind of we were on the other side of the house, but you know, it's out in the country. We're not too worried. You know, we're not holding her by the hand.
Oh Lord.
And so Tasha starts screaming. And again, 2 bounds. We're around the other side of the house, and there's Tasha on the ground. And she did have a little bit of a welt on her chest, but all was good. And that did not deter her. She still loved horses.
Yeah, but you know what? That horse could have messed her up, but that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was maybe gentle to them. I don't know, because he could have messed her up.
Yeah, he could have.
Horses aren't naturally aggressive or mean. They're very sweet and caring, especially with kids. They really read the energy of innocence and the lack of knowledge with kids. So Sage is very, overall, she's pretty, not high stress, but high anxiety for sure. So whenever I'm around and there's somebody new, you can see that she's always checking in with me. And last fall, we brought Agatha out, who's my niece. She just turned 2 in June. And I'm determined to make her a crazy horse girl. Like, it is happening and it is working. And so Agatha was like a year and a bit, 18 months, I guess. And she wasn't too sure about the horses because they're big. And she wasn't really to the age where she understood that there's different animals in the world.
And a dog and a cat.
Yeah. And I was like expecting Sage to like almost not lose her mind, but like be really big, bug-eyed and uncomfortable. And Sage just like curled right into her, head down, and like nose right into her. Like, okay, when she'd flail and get excited, Sage would like back up and be like, okay, Mom, is this okay if I'm this close? So she wasn't trying to remove herself from the situation. And it was funny because at that point, I was on an Acreage and Style lived with Sage. And then there's Style. He's like, let me in. I just want to see the kid. Like, he loves kids. He is always smack dab in the middle of the attention for kids because they are so innocent and they're not naturally aggressive beings, where we as adults, you're not doing what I want, we can get a little aggressive and not even realize it. The way I was brought up to ride and like just ride, we weren't taught the communication on the ground to read their body language. So a lot of the times we got too stern and too aggressive too quickly to make them do something, where kids don't do that. Like, if they have no experience with horses, they don't know what to do. And horses usually radiate to that because it's a nice energy to be around. So they usually tend to trickle to the kids.
I think he's got.
Okay, no problem, Roy and Becky. We're just gonna pause you here, Tasha, for a sec. We'll be right back. We just want to say hi to people. So Linda Barker, good morning. Sue, Lucky Dog. I love that channel name, Lucky Dog Productions. Let's see. We have Miss Southern Belle, understand she's just lurking now in the background. Roy and Becky has streaming issues. Yes, when you have low bandwidth, the one thing you can do is you can reduce your video quality down to like 144 or the next one, whatever the next one is, and that'll chew up less bandwidth, so you won't get so much lagging. And only have like one device on. We have that problem too sometimes.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't want to miss anybody. Miss Southern Belle, and I know I missed somebody. Lucky Dog, and I thought
You said Linda?
Roy and Becky, Linda
I
Barker.
said-
Oh, TJ Loving Life Hitched Up. That's another one.
Yeah, we started watching them.
So, you know, hitched up can also have a horsey connotation
It
too.
can.
Right? Yeah, you know, when your horse is hitched up. Uh, and Uncle Lisa's production. Yes,
Oh,
there
they
you
showed
go.
up.
Yeah, so bring all the kidlings. This is definitely a rated G show. So we're talking
right.
about Natasha's kind of how did she come to be a horsey lady. So Tasha's my daughter, our daughter, but it's mine, hers, and ours. So Tasha is in Edmonton, and she's had a horse her whole life. So I, getting back to kind of how we are with horses and how we can be aggressive. So Tasha's love of horses, I can proudly say, was because I had fascination. I always wanted a horse as a kid. I started horseback riding when I was 5. Where was I? No, I was probably more like, no, hang on. When I first went to the ranch, I was 7. Basically, my father shipped me off to the ranch because he was a single dad with 5 kids. And in the summertime, when he was off school and he was working, back then, I just ran wild, right? There was no worries about letting
you don't
kids
want to
do their
hear
own
the
thing.
stories.
So yeah, I was a bad kid. So my father shipped me off to a ranch. It could have been worse. He could have shipped me off to a cow farm, which is where he did after about 3 years. But I was exposed to horses early on. And what I knew about how to ride and how to deal with horses was from that ranch. And it wasn't very good, very rough with the horses, little whips and using the braids to whip the horse when it's not doing what you want. So, it took me a while to get older. And then after that, my teens, I would go to, where you can go ride by the hour. And so I never had a horse. So I was very pleased when we lost our video. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is no, we did Tasha's end screen, but she only has one video now. So that's the most.
The most recent.
So there you go. We'll go back to this view.
Yeah.
So I never had the opportunity, so I was very happy to be able to provide that experience to my girls, and it stuck with Tash. Tash always had the love of horses, probably because of her uncle, and but youngest daughter Kira, she had a horse, and at one point she fell off and broke her little ankle bone, and it never healed properly. She tried getting back on the horse. It took a long time, though. I think it was about a year, Tash, that she finally got back on the horse.
That was a
But
long time ago.
yeah, and she just never, after falling off the horse, she just literally could not get back on right away. And hence the expression, she just didn't want to ride anymore. But Tasha, oh my God, horse, 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 horse. Every weekend, every weekend. Yeah, 3 nights a week we were at the barn.
Stops me.
Yeah. So that's one of our stories. So and we even had Tasha's first horse bred with the ranches. Like he was what? He was a standard bred?
No, he was a quarter horse. He was cutting bred. Like he had cutting and cow bloodlines. Oh, he was gorgeous.
Yeah, and so yeah, that was a cute little colt. And I got my fill too. I mean, I was involved in a clinic too, of breaking the colts, so a 6-month colt, and that was fun. That was a 2-day event, and got
Yeah.
to do the.
You actually broke the horse that you and Mom ended up buying for Kira.
And what a good little horse. Like she picked up everything right away. And I had so much fun in that 2-day clinic and finally fulfilled like a childhood dream, right? And fill my boots with that. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was a
So
good
I just
horse. I
I
regret
just want to relay one more story for Tash because I don't know if she remembers it. I think it was before you even started writing. I think you were 5 or 6 or 7, and you went into again Uncle Grant's 10-acre corral, and I can't remember how many. I think there was 5 or 8 horses in there, and you started walking around in the corral, and all of a sudden, all the horses got in line and started following you everywhere. One behind each other in a line, and it was like I wish we were videographers then because it was such an amazing thing to see. All the horses were so enthralled with her, and it was like this little Congo line. I mean, they were all following. It was amazing. Sorry, but it's like wow, those were amazing times. And again, that probably if I had that on video, it would go viral. It's like
Oh,
it
for
was
sure.
incredible.
Yeah.
We just have to
So yeah,
redo it with Agatha now. We'll
yeah.
get
There
Agatha
you go.
with the horses.
There you go.
How did she do?
She hasn't come out with me recently because of all the COVID. I just moved Sage about 2, 3 months ago. So the previous place, nobody other than owners were allowed in and out, so they couldn't come. So I'm hoping the next couple months that they'll be able to come out. But the last time she saw them, she was only about 18, 19 months.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
just didn't really understand that they're cool.
Yeah.
But now she's understanding, like on videos and photos, that they're horses and
Yeah.
auntie
Keep showing.
horse.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Yeah. Keep
yeah.
showing. Yeah. That's good.
Oh yeah, if I
Yeah.
show her like pictures or videos of Sage, she wants to go see her. So I'm
Perfect.
yeah, Andrew's not super thrilled that I want her to be horse crazy. Like, don't worry, Auntie will help with lessons. That'll be
I was
Auntie
gonna say
Christmas
I
gift.
I kind of understand what his
Oh,
side of it, but
for sure. It's
they
expensive.
need to have an outlet like you say, it's a stress release,
Hmm.
and to be with animals like that and that you love. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because you go out there and that's all you like. You live in the moment, and horses
Yes.
really remind you that because they don't think about, oh, well, this one time, like 5 weeks ago, you did this to me, so I'm not going to like you. They're like, oh, no,
Right.
like, what are we doing today? What are we doing right now? They don't think about,
Right.
oh, what are we doing 5 days from now? No, they live in the moment and the present, and they do, if it's very traumatic, remember the bad, but it has to be very big for them to remember usually.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I feel like that's like with the dogs. If there's something really bad happens, they will, and it's got to be really bad.
Yeah.
Like any
And
animal, really, you know?
and of course, like some dogs and horses have a different level of sensitivity. They're not all the same. Like some horses will remember more smaller triggers. Same with dogs, right? So
Yep.
it is a
Absolutely.
vast scale, and they're not all the same. They all have different personalities, which just makes it so much fun too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I always say, I'm like, style. Like I know my girlfriend Catherine owns you, but you lived with me for 6 months. You're mine too. So, and oh yeah, every time I pass him, because I have to pass him to go get Sage, he'll nicker at me, and usually I have a goodie for him, and he comes up and we have a nice snuggle, and occasionally I'll catch him and he'll come play in the arena with us, and
Nice.
he's a sweet old man. I'm like, style, you're mine as much as hers. I don't pay your bills, which is nice because I can still enjoy you. But it's nice
So
to get about too.
take it in the video here. The guy that's on that's a Palomino. I can't see very
So
well.
So this one here running barrels right now, that is Dennis and Puzzle. So he is
That's Puzzle.
yes, that's Puzzle. He is a paint. And
That
I'm
is a
not
beautiful
sure
horse.
how old he is. Oh, he's an amazing horse. Like you can see in this video too of him ground tying, like that takes skill and that takes a very special mindset. Like that's something that horses tend to have issues with because they're natural followers. So for them not to follow you or follow another horse, it's not necessarily natural for them to do. And like, he's just, yeah, right here, he's just totally relaxed. And okay, you want me to take a nap? Sure, I'll take a nap. And he kind of, oh, they're getting close. I'll just make sure they're not too close. But yeah,
Nice.
he just lifted a foot. That was it. He did not move. And
Hey, Weekend RVing, how are you? How are you? You got to join us. So just to remind people, we're at kind of at the bottom of the hour, that we swapped slots with why am I blanking? Oh, Bob's Adventure on Wheels. So Bob used to be in this slot. It's a little earlier for us, and Bob will be on right after us. So we swapped slots. So
we're gonna raid Bob after this.
Absolutely. Well, good morning. Is it both James and Millie, or
it might be just Millie,
or just Millie? Because we know James works, I think, Saturdays, so those are long days. Good morning, Millie and James. So, sorry to cut you off. I hate to interrupt, especially with a nice conversation, but always want to greet people as they come in.
I've been trying to keep up with the chat.
So we'll go back to this. We'll play it in the background. So Tasha just started her YouTube channel. Her account is actually dated was it July 2nd?
Click on the stream element at the same time.
I made an account just so I could follow and subscribe to people. And I wasn't sure if I was actually going to post videos. So it took me a couple months to kick myself in the butt to actually do it. So
I remember, I think was it in June that we started having the conversation that you were thinking about this? And
yeah.
And then basically, I think I made your head spin. It's like, well, what kind of gear do you need? And, a channel name, it's important. And, so we've had discussions with that, but, we kind of just left it. And I think you came back 2, 3, 4 weeks later and you said, well, I set up my channel. I did my first video. And
I want to know how the name came about.
Oh, you'll love this. So I was racking my brain, and I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I like stumping so bad? I'm a fairly creative person, and I can usually pull something out. And I'm like, couldn't think of anything. And I'm sitting at my desk on my computer, and for Christmas or my birthday years ago, you guys got me this pink no parking sign, and it says cowgirl parking only. All others will be castrated. So I'm like,
hang on. Start again with the name because you cut out there.
Sorry.
Okay.
What was on the sign?
The sign says cowgirl parking only. All others will be castrated. So you guys got that now. Years ago. And being in the apartment, I'm like, I have nowhere to hang it. Like I can't hang it outside. Somebody's going to steal it because I live in the ghetto. And so it's hanging above my desk, and I'm like, perfect. That name is great. And
it is.
And then one of the girls at work, she is an avid YouTuber. She watches, like, she's more so a watcher. Like, she watches so many vast stuff. And I was like, Kayla, what do you think of this name? Like, I'm not really sure about it. She's like, it's definitely not like normal, but people are going to remember it. So try it because you can always change it. And I'm like,
you can.
So it's stuck. We're going to see how it goes. And
I love it.
I like it too.
Great. That's a good story.
So this is Tasha's first video, and I am impressed.
Yeah, it is really good.
Because we looked at our first 2 videos last night, and it's like, oh boy.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Tasha. We were so stiff.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And great job, Tash. It's an awesome. And the editing, it's like, wow, you've never done editing, right? This is your first go at it?
No, not really. I think I did one computer class in high school that touched a little bit on it, but I mean, it's so different. It has changed so much since high school because that was 11 years ago now. So it was a whole new program. It was frustrating to kind of learn it, and I still for sure don't have it mastered, but it was interesting. And then I got the video all done, and I'm watching through it again. I'm like, oh, I forgot music. And then I'm like, music is a whole new can of worms when it comes to YouTube with copyright and all that stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes. So thank you to YouTube for providing.
So first of all, so you went to the YouTube library for music?
Yes.
They have I go back section. There. That's where we go also.
Yeah.
And I go back about every 4 to 6 months, and there's so much there. So I look for, like, for our Baja series, I typed in like Latinesque to get some good music there for that. And there's always new stuff coming, and so I go back and look for more to try to keep changing the music a bit.
Yeah, my struggle was I didn't want like hip hop or pop or anything like that. I wanted more country, but you like type in country, it's all like slow, sad. I'm like, but this is like a fast paced like Gymkhana event, so I want something with a little oomph to it. And I'm like, I don't even know how many I listened to till I found one. But again, I'll start to learn the shortcuts and like the words to type into the searches too.
Let's just listen in a bit. We'll just kind of, just for a minute or two, let's just watch your video just a little bit. I'll put the volume on, and we'll be right back. Just hang on. We'll watch the video a bit.
We're just taking another break. Everybody attempted to have water. The slogan, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's a real thing. We're probably sitting at almost 30 degrees outside today. And they won't drink. They're tired though. Right, pretty girl? We're having a good time though.
Jesus, the same way. As soon as you try to pull out a
camera. There we go. Hey, we're back. We're back. Sorry, guys. So we're having more snuggles.
Oh, there's a puppy.
There's the puppy.
Hey, I love that. It's true. It's so true. Is she back?
Are you back, Tash?
Yes, I am back. Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we just had an internet glitch there. The video also started buffering. So
when I sit here and look like I'm clueless, that's probably what's going on.
Well, we saw the dog. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. We were taking advantage of a quick cuddle session.
Nice.
Because it's few and far between with that one. She could care less about cuddle.
But I that's probably my favorite part in the video. Well, I love the racing too, but my favorite part is when you said it's hot out here, but the story is you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
It's a real thing.
Same with food. I've done quite a few overnight trips with my previous horse, and we would go to Yahatinda, which is like, I guess I don't even know exactly where it is. I want to say it's on the way to Saskatchewan. I don't remember. It was years and years ago, and I wasn't driving. And a couple of the horses wouldn't eat or drink for like almost a day.
Oh my
And it's like,
God.
you guys are nuts. Like, we're riding 8 to 12 hours a day because we're exploring the countryside, and like that's what we're going to do. But
Yeah.
usually the harder they work the first day, the sooner they eat and drink. But
Yeah.
my little mare lady, I'd have to bring water from home. And I'm like, come on. Like, it's so much added weight when you're already hauling horses. Like, it's always good to have water, a couple buckets of water in case you get stranded. But I'm like, girl, I can't provide water for a 4-day trip for you. Like, come on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And there's
I
tricks
can't
like,
believe they didn't drink. It was hot that day.
yeah. Sage ended up jumping a fence and hurting herself, and so she was put in like a little tiny pen so she couldn't really move around too much.
Oh,
Wouldn't
my
drink
goodness.
water in there, not at all. So here I am, like adding applesauce because people said to add applesauce, add electrolytes because sometimes the flavor will just like do it for them.
Right.
Slice
Right.
up apples and carrots if they love apples and carrots and put it in the water dish, so when they at least bob for them, they're getting something. No.
Right.
I'm like, hey, you can die of thirst, I guess. Like, I don't know what else I can do for
I
you.
don't know what else to do here.
I'm like, I'm not having the vet out for this, so come on. And yeah, about 2 days in, she's like, okay, I'll catch up. But I'm like, here I am syringing water into her mouth. I'm like, oh, horse, the things
Oh,
I do for you. Yeah. She's on more vitamins and supplements than I am. Must be nice.
Of course, we take care of our pets much better than we take care of ourselves.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's a true thing. My animals eat better than I do.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yep.
Just trying to catch up with everybody. Let's see. We have weekend RVing that we said
Oh.
hi to.
Honey and me said we found our horses would not drink water unless it was from home. We were told you can start to add a bit of peppermint to the water at home, so you can add it wherever you go, and then they'll think it's from home.
Oh, that's a good trick. I need to remember that. I've never heard of that, but it makes total sense.
Yeah. Honey and me, this is Susan. She's from the island, and her vehicle she calls Honey. Her name is Susan. We've been watching her for over a couple weeks now.
So I know we've been popping up the. That's weird.
What happened?
There. I had some lag there. Just to kind of state the obvious, the obvious things. Don't forget to hit the like button. Before you leave. Check out Tasha's channel, please. If you could run her video, let's make sure that she's part of the community and becomes. She's now on our guest list also.
Yes.
We will be running Tasha's link for the next few our next few lives. So that would be awesome. So does anybody have any questions for Tasha? It's always good. We'll wait for those questions in the chat. So we're at 1:45. We normally do also a video preview from our kind of next video. We still like to do that. So how about we take a little bit of break?
We'll get some questions.
We'll get some questions lined up, and basically let's have a look at our video. So do we have chickens and ducks? So all of a sudden you probably noticed on our intro outro we have ducks and chickens, little babies, and so this will kind of fill in the gap in terms of where did those come from. So let's go ahead.
Why didn't you bring them home with you?
Listen in. What?
Yeah, I agree, Tash.
Yeah,
I would have taken Norman. Yeah. I love that little rooster. Yeah. I loved him.
Okay, I'm clicking on it. I have to let go of the click now. So let's watch the video.
So what are we doing this morning?
This morning we're going up to the neighbor's house to tend to his animals. bird variety. As you can hear the rooster.
Yeah, roosters, chickens, ducks, but no goats, which I'm very sad. But there are goats that go by here.
Our neighbor is back home in Toronto.
Hmm.
And so we're here, and he asked us if we can go feed and water his animals. So let's go do that. Help out a neighbor. So the secondary door is well secured.
Oh my God, look at all the eggs. Holy smokes. He just got out.
How do you get out?
Right there. Hi, baby. Well, we'll have to catch him and put him back in. Hi, guys. I'm not so distressed now. Except for this guy's a little aggressive. A little aggressive. Okay? Yeah, but you're my friend now, right? You aren't going to bite me anymore, right? He used to like me now. I think he was just scared. I think he was just scared. Yeah, he's just a little scared. Okay, there's where the water comes from. This big tank. Ready? Now they've got water. Okay, shutting it off. Yeah, see, he's not aggressive anymore. You happy now, baby? Yeah, be a lot better. No more fighting with us, because we just wanted to change your water. All right.
These guys have some.
And
But-
they have
But if
some,
we go
but
get some feed, I'm gonna go in there and clean out those tubes.
right.
They're kind of crusty.
Okay, so they need to be cleaned out too. Yeah, because the toppers here, these toppers are supposed to be protecting them from the rain, but they came off.
But there is feed in there.
We'll have to tie them down when we get some more feed. Okay? And you won't have no more water in your feed. Okay,
They're
so
kind of crusty. They have some, but maybe I should go in there.
you have to go in there because this is the one that was trying to get out of the cage. Okay, so you're gonna go in there and change it? Okay. So it was pretty clumped up, hey, Papa?
Yeah, there was no feed in there. It just looked like there was.
I'm gonna show the clumps here.
Here.
Yeah. I got it. No, I got it. You can see it through the fence. And they're eating it because they couldn't get to it. It's all clumped up. We're going to give them some fresh stuff that we scavenged from the other ones. We took from Peter to give to Paul. That's fine. As long as it holds.
Just go around.
This is a little escaper right there. Wants to escape.
Okay.
He did, honey.
Okay, so which one?
This guy didn't. Is it this guy that didn't have any? Her. It's the beautiful turkey.
These ones here.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of them, so they're gonna need a lot of feed, hon. Mhm. Perfect. There you go, babe.
Okay, so who else? Let's make sure everybody's got some.
Okay. Let's make sure this is shut. These guys got lots. And those guys, you said you wanted to fix the tubes.
That's the guys.
Mhm.
Okay, let's put the water hose in here.
Yeah, I'd say. Because water will be easier going down than up. Okay, now I go turn it on. We're filling up the pool.
No, unmute her.
There, I can
So
hear
sorry,
again.
forgot
Thank
to
you.
unmute.
I was like, I want to hear
Sorry
about the
about that.
ducks and chickens.
So know that. Yeah.
I said I missed them. I really missed them. I had a great time. I loved it. Oh my God.
So no,
If
usually
and when I get an
there used to be a worker
you
there.
guys can have
I'm gonna feed. You're getting goats.
You're getting baby goats.
Oh, I'll feel like an egg at
That's
the
the only thing I missed. I missed, like they had goats, but they're the goats that go up and down the road. They're wild, right? And they just won't go to you. The goats that are normally like from a petting zoo, they'll come to you because they expect food and they're fun. They're fun. They're very curious, but they don't have no goats. But they had lots of ducks.
Have you seen the fainting goat?
And then you were saying about a fainting goat. Have you seen one?
Yeah. So
They're
the first time I
it's
actually saw them was when we went to go look at the first horse we bought, and they had fainting goats. And the lady's like, they faint, and I was like, well, make them faint. I want to see it. I mean, you scare them, they faint. They dead. Yeah.
it's I can honestly tell you, and I'm traumatized by that because I had a dog that used to have seizures, right? So when I see the goat, I think about Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell would pass out, like she'd get scared, and she would actually fall over and have a seizure. And so when I see that, I'm like, oh my God, are they okay?
I
I
actually
have
think that's
trauma.
what fainting goats do. It's like a mini seizure.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and that terrifies me.
It's pretty sad that we find that funny.
I don't find it funny. It terrifies me. It's a trigger, guys. It's not funny.
Well then.
So there you go. So we've continued our Baja series. It's still coming. We have stuff in the can. Ready. They're actually already uploaded and scheduled all the way into the first week of September. Didn't edit so much this week. I started a big one. So we have one in the can that'll be coming around mid-September, or sorry, I'm working on that one. And it's quite long, where we did a historic home tour in Todos, Santos, in
Oh,
the
that'll be
little
so
town.
cool.
So there were about 20 some homes that you walk through the town with a map. They're all numbered and they have people that give you a little bit of the history. There's a little bit of a placard, a piece of paper or whatever gives you the number and the name of the house and the history behind it. So there is a lot of footage and a lot of pictures. So I'm already at 10-minute mark. I'm hoping that it won't be too long. But I do have a question for you guys. If you just quickly put it in the chat, we have 5 minutes left. Always wondering, what's better in terms of video length? Like I know Gary from Daydream of Nice Things. He says don't edit so much, make it long, like so that you can get the real vibe of actually being there. Whereas I'm more of the ADD person, and I like quick cuts and take out the fluff and just get to the point. Just the facts, man. And so we've been toying with the idea of having kind of the first long cut and leave a lot of it in, just take the bad stuff out. the bad video, and leave it long, like start doing in the 20-minute videos, um,
Oh,
and the kind of the long director's cut, and then taking that video, which is a little bit more work, and then shortening it down to what I prefer is the kind of 6 to 10 minute video. I like the short version, so that it encourages more people. Oh, I know when I see a 6 minute video, 6 minutes about my mark, when I look at other people's videos, it's like that's what I prefer to watch, because I think I'm a little ADD and OCD. So let us know in the chat, and maybe we'll start doing that. So maybe this historic home tour is maybe the one that we'll try that. I'll do a long cut editing, and have a director's cut, and have a regular version.
Miss Southern Belle says she loves the raw footage into the history and all that. I agree. I agree with her. I like sometimes okay, he does most of the editing. Let's be real. Sometimes he cuts out way too much, and I like going back to watch the whole thing, because then I that's how I remember. But I understand why you're doing it. It's because people just don't have time for 20 minutes to
Yeah.
watch a whole video.
Yeah. But sometimes we like watching our stuff to remember, the experience, and we'll just go back to the raw footage and just watch all the files, from starting to end. So I actually thought of also doing a time lapse dash cam of of the trip leaving home, and taking all the dash cam footage, putting it at 48 times speed,
Right.
chain it all together and produce one video. It might be a 3-hour video or something, but it'd be kind of cool to kind of see that, kind of watching the terrain change.
Exactly. Yeah. Susan from Honey and Me, she's like you. She likes it short and sweet. Don't go all over the place. What's your video about? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that. I just saw that's not what she said, but that's what I got.
Yeah. I still try to cut out the dead air, and the ums and ahs, and where where we're saying something and then we kind of think about the next word. So I try to cut out all those air gaps. So
yeah.
So there you go. So you've met Tasha. To me, she's still my Natasha. And yes, she was named
I
after
think
Star
you're
Trek
the only
character.
one that calls me Natasha.
She was named after what, Christian?
A Star Trek character. Both our kids. Kira was Kira Renee. Kira. Oh, I forget the last name. But anyways, Kira on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
And Natasha was Natasha Yar, also on The Next Generation. Our first
And
cat
the
was
cat
named
was
Tribble.
Tribble.
Yeah, it was named Tribble.
Oh my God.
So there's a little history. So there you go. So we encourage you to go check out Tasha's
Looks like
Tasha's channel.
you got a couple of new subscribers there, Tash.
I did. I think I hit my weekly goal.
There
which
you
is
go.
exciting.
Yeah.
There you go.
And my next video will be up probably tomorrow, Monday at the latest. And that one will be dog related.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, there we go.
So, just what are you thinking in terms of video frequency? Maybe one a week until you kind of get your legs?
I'm thinking one longer one a week around that 10 to 15 minute mark. And then I think I might do like a short 3 to 4 minute video once a week also. Just because I do want to cover the dogs too and the horses, but the dogs are they don't like being videoed. Like, they're cute, but as soon as I have my camera out, they stop doing whatever they're doing. So they're going to be harder to get videos of.
The thing is, dogs and cats are those are the viral videos. The thing is just trying to keep the camera going so that you catch those, memes or very short 1 to 2 minute interactions where they do funny stuff.
So.
Well, right on. So it was great to have you. We'd like to have you often. And, if you happen to hit our live streams, we'll always have you on, even as just sitting there looking pretty.
We should do a traveling with your pets little info chat.
Excellent.
All right, that sounds good. So if
Mhm.
anybody would like to be part of the show, we'd love to
Oh.
have. We'd rather have two people on the show. It makes the screen so much prettier, and we can show off our background. And James, you're just catching us at the
Yeah.
end. We're just gonna do 1 hour today.
Yeah.
Nice to come in, James.
Yeah. We're going to Bob's Adventure on Wheels right away.
You betcha. So let's
looks
go.
like sorry, honey. It looks like also I didn't know. Is this true that Papa Drew's RV is in here?
I don't
Is
know.
Papa Drew in here?
No, somebody just mentioned him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, so we'll kind of wrap this up. So let's go raid Bob's Adventure on Wheels. He's on right behind us, and this will be the regular format every Saturday morning. We will come on first at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, and then followed with Bob's Adventure on Wheels.
Come have coffee with us.
So check out our new outro. We'll always try to change it and keep it interesting to keep you on to have a look at it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Back in the 16th.
I'm standing there and fucking neighbors do everything. She goes over there with it, or whatever, sniffs it out, and then she's just
Where's that coming from?
Yeah.
I muted it. Oh.